How's everybody going? Selwyn here from WynnStrength.com, bringing you day 3 of week 10 of the Powerbuilding 2 template by Barbell Medicine. This is the second last day of the final week of the template, so we're wrapping things up with some competition style deadlifts, pause, bench presses, and some lever rows. So here we go. So what we're actually doing is starting off with some deadlifts, competition style. So what I'll do is I'll start off with showing you some of the warm-ups along the way. Now if you've been following me, you'll know to subscribe to see what I normally do to warm up, but I'm going to post that today, so maybe you can just like instead. Nevertheless, what I do is start off with some Romanian style deadlifts. That way it activates the glutes and just a nice little warm-up movement, just to get all the posterior chain fired up and activated. And I usually do that with an empty bar for about 3 sets of 10 to 15. If it's cold, I'll bump that up to 4 sets, but I want to aim for around 30 to 50 reps with an empty barbell. I like to generally use that time to set up the garage gym space, so I'll walk around, tidy things up, move things to the appropriate section, but I like to keep the rest periods really minimal, so I'm really just performing 10 set of 10s, writing it down, and going back, performing another set of 10s, writing it back, so on and so forth. That helps with getting the blood flowing and getting the body ready for some heavy movements. So after that, I'll just throw on some weights and just do some regular conventional style deadlifts that I'll do for the rest of today. So what that means is I'll throw on 135 and then just ramp up, usually in 135, then 225, 275, 315, so on and so forth. I'll throw on the belt halfway through there, kind of still get the body warmed up without the belt. To do some grip training, I will hold off switching to an alternate grip for as long as I can. So today was cool. We got 365 with a double overhand grip. Might have been just shy on the lockout, but that's the new double overhand PR deadlift for me, so that was kind of cool. What also you'll notice is, well, you won't notice it because it's time-lapse, but the deadlifts warm-ups today, it took me 17 minutes to go from an empty barbell with Romanian deadlifts to 405 pounds for a single in under 20 minutes, so only 17 minutes from that to there. However, as the weights get heavier, I start to increase the rest periods. So by the end of it, the deadlift session actually took me around 40 to 45 minutes. So in between there, you can see the rest periods increase a lot, but while the weight is light, I like to keep the rest periods really minimal, really just loading the plates, getting a drink, and then going back to lifting. That's one way for me to work on conditioning, as well as getting a little bit of extra cardio GPP into a training session like today, where I'm really focused on heavy weights. So not as successful today as I was in the previous weeks. I do think some of that fatigue is settling in, so we did only get 475 for a set of 8. When I do play the 475 weight, you'll see that it comes up quite slowly. Well, it felt really slowly during the movement. It felt really heavy, and my form didn't feel like it was on. All the warm-ups felt great, which was why I was kind of surprised with how the weight felt how it felt when it got heavier towards the end of the sets there. So I think some accumulated fatigue is setting in. The lighter weights felt fine, and even on the back off sets with the reps, that felt heavy as well. I dropped that down, so I was only doing 425 for 5 and 405 for 5, and those two felt like an RPE 9 for both sets. Even the first rep of that movement didn't feel smooth. It felt quite sluggish, so I think some fatigue is settling in. I ate well today. I got a good night's sleep the night before, so I think we're just starting to slow things down. I mean, it is tapering down towards the tail end of this program, and I've said it before, my body prefers a 4 to 5 week break, and I haven't had any deload weeks since week 1, so I've been trying to stave that off by making weeks take maybe 10 days rather than the 7 days. That way I get a couple of extra rest days in between each working day. So that might not have worked as well, or it might have made it worse, because now I've stretched out the template past the typical 10 weeks that it should take, whereas I'm still getting the same amount of work days in, but spread out across a longer period of time. Who knows what the case may be, but I know personally I like 4 to 5 week deload week, but you'll learn that as you go in your own weightlifting session. So overall, I think it was a solid session, nothing unexpected, because I wasn't really at week 6, I was hoping to bust through the 500-pound deadlift mark, but it's not going to happen today. But concerning last week, I did hit a new 1 rep max of 495, so super stoked with that. And I think I was pushing it there because I was still sore from that. I experienced a lot of DOMs from that for about 4 days afterwards. So I think that was pushing the limits, and it really helped exacerbate the problem with the accumulated fatigue, but stoked that I was able to hit that milestone. Moving on, I did choose to superset again. I'm really enjoying the superset here of the pause bench press followed by a lever row. One thing that's cool that I like doing is making the weights match. Maybe I'm doing that incorrectly because maybe one's getting overstressed and one's getting understressed, but we were able to hit a top set today of 275, which is a new PR for both movements there, which I think is great. So supersetting that helps reduce the time frame. Today's workout session only took an hour and a half, so really stoked with that. Probably could have dropped it down a little bit, but I was starting to feel a bit more tired towards the end of the workout, so a little bit longer rest period started to creep in there, from the 2 minutes to probably the 5-minute mark in between each set. But nevertheless, I'm pretty stoked with those results. 275 for 6 for a pause bench press. I tried to focus on the count for the 2 count, but I think it was more of a 1.5 count if I'm lucky. The lever rows, still using the wrist straps to help with the weight, just because the deadlift kind of kills the grip for me, as well as the hands. I mean, that Rogo high power by knurling is no joke. It's great for deadlifts and keeping the grip on the barbell, but it really does hurt the palms while you're still getting used to it. Okay, so all that being said, wrapping up the second last day of week 10. This has been a really cool journey so far. I hope you've enjoyed the documenting of the journey. I really just want to do this so that we can track some progress, and in 2 years from now we can see how the journey has, where part of it has come from, and then how far along we can get. Because this is just historic documentation. I just want to throw it out there to prove that you don't have to be genetically gifted in order to go really far in this game. I don't think I am especially genetically talented with regards to lifting weights. I've just been consistently doing it for a very long time, and I think that there is the key secret to success in really anything, is to maintain consistency and maintain discipline and just repeatedly do it, even though you might suck at it. There are a lot more people who've done this shorter than I have and are a lot stronger than me. But it doesn't stop me from doing it because it's something I enjoy, and I think if it's something you enjoy and you keep doing it, then you're eventually going to hit some greatness, and time will only tell where you end up on that spectrum of success. But if you're just enjoying the journey, then I think that's a great part of it. Nevertheless, do you want to get stronger? I am chasing to be in the 600-pound deadlift club eventually, hopefully by the end of 2020. That gives me 16 months to put on 105 pounds on the deadlift. So we'll see if that turns out how it is. But nevertheless, this template has been good so far. Stay tuned for the next video, which will be the final day of the final week of the Powerbuilding 2 template, followed by a review of the template, some of the likes, dislikes. I'll throw up some spreadsheet snapshots that you can see what you're getting, what tools it provides. I think it's really cool, but I'll save that for that final review video. In the meantime, I really thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, let me know what you think about the new style. I'll talk at the end rather than talk throughout the workout. It kind of makes my workout flow a little better and gives me a bit more easier train of thought when I'm speaking in one continuous speech, as it were. So check out the blog, WynnStrength.com. That's where I put a weekly write-up of the training. I put the sets, reps, RPEs used, and a little bit of a hindsight 2020 as to what I thought went well, what went wrong over the course of the week. I'm also releasing a new series entitled The Stoic Powerlifter, where I use some thoughts and concepts from the Stoics of the past to relate to powerlifting and get that mindset right in order to really grind through some of the workouts and just push that motivation through to help you put that right mindset on when you get into the gym and to get you into the gym, really. I'll also leave some links for the Barbell Medicine crew, some great free resources there, as well as obviously the digital templates like the one I'm using today. Thanks for watching. This has been Solid from WynnStrength, and remember, a better life through strength.